Alright, so let's get started. So we're kind of starting from a spot here where we're already, progress has obviously already been made. I pulled the old 5-liter pushrod motor out, the original. I'd done some various projects to this car in my youth that, probably weren't the smartest things. So we're starting all over. As you can see here, engine bay is empty. I've painted it black. I've filled in some of the holes and things like that. I'm not an expert welder. You may see some details here that don't look fantastic, but this is going to be really a driver. I want to get this car running, working, driving, and reliable. I don't want to have to deal with tuning issues, force induction, things like that, all these problems that came up in my previous builds. So you can see I've put in a Maximum Motorsports tubular K-member already. You can see I have a brake booster down there, a Hydro Boost brake booster. I've also converted to coil-over suspension on the front. I've got a Maximum Motorsports on Coney struts, as well as their cast and camber plates. And I've got a late model Mustang rack and pinion down here, and the Maximum Motorsports fancy steering rack here, or steering rod. So things are coming along. I've also got the let me see if I can zoom in over here, since I can't really see it on my side. I've done all new brakes. I've done the cross-drill slotted rotors off of their late model Mustang, or a late model when I was building this car originally. It's more like a 2003 Mustang, so they're the 11-inch rotors and the dual piston calipers. I also have the Maximum Motorsports tubular A-arms as well installed. And you can see these plates here are Maximum Motorsports recommendations for putting this K-member into this car. It gives it extra, I don't know, I think it was a ½ inch or something like that space. So let's move further back on the car here. Front suspension is, for the most part, ready to go, I think. Rear suspension, I just recently did Maximum Motorsports coilover conversion. Unfortunately, I don't have pictures or video of that. Actually, I have pictures. Maybe I can include that, but I don't think I have. I don't think I'll be able to get in here very well. But there's, I went with Coney rear strut or rear shocks with the Maximum Motorsports coilover conversion as well. Right now, I'm working on this mess right here. I've owned this car for, let's see, 2003. It's 2020, so 17 years roughly. I've made a lot of questionable modifications throughout my younger years. I mean, 17 years ago, I was in my late teens, early 20s. So, I wasn't making the best decisions. I put down the kind of generic knockoff, you can see it right here, the heat kind of butyl, whatever it's called, the ceiling wrap, the roof wrap stuff, and I went knockoff, and it's been a mess. It's been a kind of a disaster ever since in here. So today I was working on pulling up I pulled out all the carpet, and I'm working on pulling up all the old insulation, as well as, most of the factory insulation is coming up with it. So I'm going to be working on, laying down, fixing some spots here, cleaning everything up. I've got a spot here that looks like I may have some issues. Let's see if I can pull this bar off. It looks like it's potentially able to be removed because the insulation goes underneath it. So I'll probably remove that, polish everything up. I don't think this car has not really ever seen any rust. It was an Oklahoma car, followed by Missouri, followed by now Arizona. So there's not a whole lot of rust issues on this car. And for being an 88, that's pretty solid. So I'll probably rework this dash. At one point I had turbos in the car, so I'm working on I'll probably remove these two gauge pods up here and put everything in the dash. I have an autometer setup, which is okay, but not the greatest. But that's the plans for the interior. I need to get some new seats. I've got the old seats in the back here, and I was probably going to do I was thinking about doing a 4-point roll bar in here just for being able to attach seats and do things like a 5-point harness, that sort of thing. I just want to be safe while I'm driving this car. So moving on back, let's see what's going on back here. My garage is a total disaster zone right now because of parts. So here's the old seats. I've pulled them out. And here's the interior, or the trunk. I'm probably going to be removing all of this. Not really a subs guy anymore. I was when I built this car originally. But this whole subfloor section here is MDF, so I'm probably going to remove all that, remove the battery, etc. Clean out all this carpeted, maybe insulate. I might build we'll see what happens back here. I haven't gotten to planning this far yet. So, all right, well, that's it for today. I will update as projects get accomplished and as I plan things. Usually it's about, a day. I usually work every weekend or so on the car, and please stay tuned and join us for more fun.